Oh,
point.
look at Luis, my man.
What's up, baby? I gotta log in for the master. I gotta log in for the master.
Hey, I appreciate it, my friend.
It's my pleasure, my guy. And I'm happy you're not sick anymore. So I'm happy you up and straight.
I've been, thank God, a lot better, a lot better. I've been good. I've been now trying to get this right, trying to teach people the right way. So here's the thing, guys. I'm gonna focus on something today that a lot of people aren't really they're having a hard time with, and I really want to go into it. It's them stupid inquiries. People are having a hard time getting rid of inquiries in the software, and they've been asking me what can potentially be holding them back. Now, I did do a video on it, but a lot of people don't like to watch the videos. So at the end of the day, um I'm gonna do it live. So if questions are asked, we're asking them live as we're going through. And then we're gonna do a couple other questions on whatever you guys feel the need that needs to be explained. I want to go through it as in depth as possible. If anybody has any questions, like if we want to start off with while we're now so a little bit of Q&A, let's start off with a little bit of Q&A. I don't need everybody to be on mute. If you want to put yourself on mute, that's okay. But at the end of the day, I just say have respect for one another. And we'll just don't talk over each other, and we can all be over here because I'm not. This is not a strict and restringent class. I want people to talk to me so at the end of the day we can start building what needs to be done. I want to focus on your questions, where you're being held up at. Like this morning we had a meeting. I had a meeting with Jay Grant. We went over everything, and all of a sudden the guy realized he didn't have as much stuff he got removed that he didn't realize that he had removed off his account. He's like, the demoralization that happens when you keep going fighting each month and you don't get deletions or you don't see a score jump, it kind of demoralizes you. But we're not looking at score. And I keep trying to say this, and a lot of people don't understand this, is it's an actual battle that we're looking at is to actually fight the Bureau by moving the negative items. We want to remove all the negative items. It's not about score. I don't care about score because we could rebuild score instantly when the negative items are removed. So that's what I want to focus on is first off, getting the negative items removed, getting you guys cleaned as quickly as possible. Okay. And then focused on the last piece, which is going to be that funding piece. And why do we want to go into funding? Hey, Ali, I don't want to go into funding. I just want to buy a house. That's still funding, guys. It's just a different type of funding. It's funding on the sense to get you a piece of property that you want to live in versus getting yourself funding for a business or something like that. So we're going to work on all that different ideologies. Um, and try to get all that stuff hammered away. So I'm gonna open up the floor right now. Let's open up the floor. There's gonna be people coming in and out. Let them come in. Uh, Micah, yeah, Micah, post in a mastermind group as well. Just keep, let everybody know that's there. All right.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm opening up the floor. Any questions? Go for it, guys. Talk to me. And crickets. Cue crickets. Yo, I gotta get one of those stream decks. Mike, we gotta figure this out. I gotta get one of those stream decks and
Yeah.
have like noises and stuff programmed
Oh,
into Cue cricket.
that'd be great. That'd be great.
All right. So if we have no questions, because I wanted to open up the floor to get maybe a couple more people in here that just don't see it. We want to bring in as many people in this as possible so that we start there. And these are growing. I gotta admit, guys, I appreciate everybody that joins when they join. I'm trying to make it exclusive for everybody, but here's what happens. Some people want it at midnight, some people want it in the afternoon. So I'm gonna try to give what I can where I can. And I know sometimes it's easier after work, but at the end of the day, we want to get you while you're still focused. You know, at the end of the day, people don't realize you're not focused at night. And everyone, what do you mean? It's you're burnt out from the day at work. You've coming home and things like that. We want you to be sharp because the stuff that we're teaching you is not taught by a lot of other people. So I want you guys to understand that. All right. So let's get into it. Let me let me get my screen up over here. Let me do this. So I'm going to bring up M2 FICO Forge. I am going to do work out of my own software. Doesn't mean that my software is different than your software. It's the same exact software if you're using an M2 software, except that some of the names are different. Okay. I have an owner software, so you're going to see a couple of different buttons that you don't normally see. But at the end of the day, it's the same software. Okay. All right. Let's go over here. We're going to share my screen and give me a thumbs up for anybody that has their camera on. Give me a thumbs up if you can see it. Perfect. All right. So at the end of the day, we are in a good position over here. So I wanted to focus on something today, which was inquiries. Now, I could do a run through of the software. Does anybody want me to do a run through of the software? Understand the software better? Give me a reaction. Do a thumbs up. Do I have a chat? I do have a chat. I can open up the chat. If people don't want to talk, we can do in the chat. Give me a thumbs up. Give me something. Let me know something's going on. And what I'm going to do also is, Micah, I'm going to make you co-host. God forbid something happens to me.
Okay.
You are available.
Sounds good.
Micah, run chat if anything. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want me to run through the software. So what we're going to do is we're going to run through the software totally. I'm going to run through the basis of how to get everything ready to rock and roll. And then I'm going to run through how to do an attack, do a bankruptcy, and then do an inquiry file. 3 different files on how we're going to rock it. Okay? So we're going to do that. We're going to get started now. So the first file that we're going to run through right now is just how to set up the attack profile. Now, I know a lot of people know how to set this up, but the reason that I want to set this up the way that I want to set this up, Luis, you talking to me or you talking to somebody else? Oh, you're talking to somebody. Okay. So the reason I want to put this way is because we want to make sure that we're lights out on setting up a profile. We want to make sure that everything is perfect the way that it's supposed to be done. Because if it's not perfect, all right, it's not going to be good. So let's focus on this right now. Okay. So first and foremost, I take the ID and I focus on 3 things on the ID. I focus on address, not address, excuse me, first name, last name, and date of birth. So when we do that over here, I focus, his first name is Nick, last name is Samples. Okay, and his date of birth is 12/21/67. So let's follow that line. Nick, Samples, 12/21/67. Okay, make sure the formatting is correct. If it says formatted like this, format it like this. I prefer this formatting, I'll be honest with you guys, than the dashes. I think this looks better, looks more clean, and everybody's used to seeing it like this. Okay, next. The next line, Social Security. I follow Social Security, copy it verbatim. So I put it over here. Now, I put a 1 for software purposes, but just to let you know, just follow it verbatim. Phone number, just follow the phone number. And always make sure you have a proper phone number in this system. You want to have a number that you can contact the client with, make sure that everything's good. Now, next thing is it's going to be the bill. And here I'm gonna download this so you guys can see it. So it's a little bigger on the screen. Okay. So let's open this up and let's zoom in. Can you guys see this bill?
Yep.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this half. I'm gonna bring this here, and I'm gonna show you guys how I do it. So how I do it is I'll put this on one of my other screens, and then I'll copy this. Now, Min Miller is not the person's name. This is this person. So I copy it verbatim. 25 with the dash 257 Pearl Street. Okay. And I always spell street, drive, avenue, all that stuff. Now, if this had apartment, put apartment 301 on it. Okay. Or whatever it is. Then New York, New York, and then 10038. Now, this is kind of isn't bill, so this works. Okay. Then USA, and then the thing. Now, I know as long as I can see this here and this matches, this is what gets a lot of people turned down in our software and our review process with our printing company is because when the people come in and they hit this button and they do this and they look at the address, we look at the physical address, it doesn't match what they're sending us, which is not good. So we need to do is make sure that this matches verbatim. This is perfect. Okay. Now, question that always arises, well, Ali, what if it doesn't match the ID? That's okay. It doesn't need to match the ID because the ID is for one reason, to prove who you are. The proof of address is to prove where you live. Your social security is to prove that you're a citizen. So if you remember that, you're good. Now, how do you strengthen a file? Is by your driver's license equaling the same as your. Now, if you can't get a driver's license that doesn't equal, excuse me, that equals the old address, what do I do? Very simple, very easy, very, very easy. You just put a passport. That gets the job done, lights out every single time. Your passport in this box over here. That's why you'll have your first name, last name, address, not address, date of birth on a passport. It doesn't have an address. It just proves that you're here. Passport also proves you're a citizen. That's why we can use it in the same thing. So that is that. Now, I added pictures over here of my wedding because I didn't have any other pictures and I want to add BS over here. I put pictures of the wedding because I want this item over here to show that you can add any item and it'll pull up as a file as long as you put the JPEG. But over here, you can add power of attorney, you can add a anti-stall letter, you can add whatever you want. You can get an affidavit of truth and fact. You can get a bunch of stuff that you can add over here if you want. FYI, we found out power of attorney does not work. Anti-stall letter does not work. Affidavit of truth and fact does not work. Anybody who tells you that they're sending these out and they're getting results, they're full of it. That's a good way of saying it. I didn't curse. They're full of it. So at the end of the day, we make sure we open up these boxes. You can add whatever you want, but I tell you all the time, just put your top 3 over here and you're good. All right. So now, once this is complete, you upload your report, hit the plus sign, upload your report. Once you upload your report and everything pulls, you come down over here, check your report. Now, what I do is when I upload the report, I only update my free score now report. Well, what I mean by that is I keep all the my free score now reports because I don't look at them. I don't ever look at them. All I need is the Epic Pro report to be the one that's updated the newest. So that's what you do, and then you could just delete that report. Now, if you want to check that report and make sure that everything uploaded good, you just hit process HTML, HTML, and I'll tell you what this is. Now, because this has personal data on it, I want to move through that really quickly because it is an actual person's file, even though it doesn't match this one. So now that that's done, this client's ready for the attack profile. So now I'm going to pause. Questions. Jasmine, do you have anything that you want to type? Jay, do you want to ask me anything? Lou, do you want to ask me anything?
Thank you. I'm following.
Perfect.
Yep, everything's good. Oh,
Perfect. And Lou, I know you're probably on the phone, so we'll move on. Perfect. Guys, if I am going too fast, please let me know. I know I have the ability to go too fast. So I will slow down a little bit. Okay. So next, we're going to go to our attack area. Always remember in the attack area, if you forget to send a file over to us, just go to the attack area, click on the client's name. It's going to bring up this historical attack area. Click this little paper airplane, and now you can send it back to us any which way that you want. And that would be the big deal right here, is getting over here and sending that to us any which way that you want without having to reuse an attack. Now, once that's finished, okay, oops, I just sent a letter to Pam's, my bad. Yep, I did. Hold on, let me tell yeah, Micah, do me a favor, tell it in Slack, tell everybody that I just sent it by accident.
Okay.
So now we're gonna go to the attack area. I mean, how many people want to know the craziness that I can do with this software? How many people want to know the basic attacks? How crazy do you guys want me to go here? Because there's so much I can teach you in this one area by dissecting the smallest little things. But how do you guys want me to mess you up completely? Do you want me to leave you to a
Go
point
for
where
it. Let's go. No, no red light, no yellow light, green light. Let's go for it. You the guru.
So when we select the clients over here, let's focus on this. I'm going to ask everybody a couple questions over here because I want everybody to be focused on what I'm doing over here because this is really going to give you an understanding of the software to a level that is so high that it will put you on another level when you're under explaining the software one to the people that you're selling it to. So if you're selling credit repair to them, you have a way that you can push it where you're like, I know there's things I can do that'll force the software to do things that it doesn't want to do. So it's crazy. But what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to show you guys a couple things, and let's go there. So we're always going to start with MPEP. Doesn't matter whose software you're in. Mine is Blast Furnace. If you're in GOAT, it's Go Combo 1. If you're in Phenom, it's Indemnity. If you're anybody in any other software that I didn't mention, Ralph, I didn't hear you. What'd you say? What? I can't. Ralph, your mic sounds like you're 10 miles away. Guys, is that me or is that him?
That's him. That's him.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
A little better now. So,
The M2 Fresh Start?
oh, M2 Fresh Start. So I haven't seen inside of that software. So what I would say it's the MPEP, this one right here. It's still the top. It's put in most effective order. So anybody that has anything but Phenom, the FCCA is put first and then Indemnity. So MPEP is your strongest attack. Again, my software is Blast Furnace. Everybody else is a different name. I don't know yours yet. I haven't been inside of it. So maybe one day I'll ask you for a little access so I can learn about it. Okay. So at least I know what their names are. So over here, Blast Furnace, we're going to select that. And then we're going to start at whatever attack you're on. But what I want you guys to understand when you're working in this software, this is the default. I want you guys to understand that. Right here is the default. If you were to hit next and run your round and send this out, it would still do something. I want to tell you guys that. If you don't know anything about credit repair and you hit next and you just let it run every month in MPEP, it would do something. You couldn't control your letters. You couldn't control. Go, Lou. I see you wanted to talk. Go.
It would do something, but would it be? It wouldn't be as focused as what you're about to get into.
Exactly.
Okay.
So when we're talking about this, it's not about the focus here. It's about watching where the focus is coming in. And this is, they call it shaking the tree. I love Miss Deborah's example of it. She calls it, I just put everything in blue on the first round to just shake the tree. And that's to get whatever low hanging fruit is off the credit report if there is any. Now, how do you know if there's low hanging fruit? Simple. Look at the client's file, find out where the negatives were. The newer the negatives are, there is no low-hanging fruit. The older the negatives are, the more there's low-hanging fruit. Why? Because an older an account is doesn't mean it's necessarily been verified. FYI, I did it this morning. I just threw the stuff out. I had a one-on-one appointment here, and we went over the person's credit report by hand with the highlighter, where the hell did I put my highlighter? That's my favorite thing. This is my favorite thing in the whole world. This stupid highlighter is my favorite thing in the whole world. Okay? Because when you're reviewing a credit report, you print it out, you start highlighting all the things that are incorrect. So I have two colors. I used to have two colors. Now I only have yellow. Okay? I used to have yellow and pink. Okay? Pink was my favorite. What we did with pink is highlight all the stuff that's incorrect. Yellow, we highlight all the stuff that makes sense for funding. So yellow was always money. Pink was always negative. So when you start to do that, you start to understand a file. You start to look at the last reported date. And if you find the last reported date, the longer that last reported date is, the better off you are, which means they're not updating it, which means it's not verified as much. And because it's not verified as much, If they don't get back to the bureau instantly, it's going to get removed quicker. So that's where we're going, and that's what we want to talk about. We want everybody to understand that a credit report is special, and knowing how to read it will put you head and shoulders above everybody else. So in this one, I'm just going to click all blue. I'm not going to go any further because we want to read the credit report. We want to understand the credit report, and then we'll come back to this and we'll go really in depth. Okay. So first thing, why did I select all blue? If you turn something off, it'll turn something off over here. So let's not turn anything off. Let's turn the hide positive items over here. We want to turn everything off that's here. Now, I have a list of negative items that are in front of me that I can attack. Now, why did I tell you guys if you selected everything in blue, all this stuff would go in one letter? And I have an actual negative. I actually have a big file at home that I usually carry around. I got to bring it to the office that I carry and show you what blue looks like. Technically, I can walk into a front and grab one, but I'm lazy right now. And I don't want to stop the thing for any reason. So when we do this, this would all be in one file. Now, what's a stall letter do? The stall letter, when it stalls out a file, will stall the whole thing. So you just lost every single letter. So that's why we go aggressive. Ralph, what's up? Talk to me, buddy.
Sorry, I was just coughing. My bad.
Oh, no. Okay. And I can hear you loud and clear. Okay, beautiful. So with that, where do we focus? We focus on this and we start getting pen and paper and we start writing it down. So now, if you guys want this, I created this. All you got to do is ask me for it. I took the red, green, and blue boxes, and I made it into a printable sheet. I did not follow their order. I went in my own order. What is that order? By the stuff that most to the stuff that shows up the least. So now, dealing with the file and the system, you can just check your red, green, and blue boxes. And if you print it out for your client, you could save this and go back to it every month without having to look at the file ever again. You just see there, you go there. The only time that you would have to look at it is if you update the credit report. Then you print out a new one, and then you go to rock and roll. This is free, guys. Just ask me for it. I'll give you access. Okay, I'll give it. I'll say, Micah, do me a favor. The free, the drive, Google go to get it to our Google Drive, and it's free docs. Send them a link in the chat. Okay. So
Thank you very much.
Oh, the for the sheet.
there's a bunch of stuff in there, guys. So you're
Yep.
just gonna get it all. Just get you go through it and have fun. So this over here helped me out a lot. I created this purposefully because writing it down is a pain in the butt. So now what I do is I don't have to write it down, and I laminated mine so I don't have to remember. So I can just go through it, expo marker, and I just check each one off. So now here's how we go through it. I start at the first one. It's gonna say what it is. It says go to personal information CB. Go to personal information. We hit all the negatives, personal information. So all I'm gonna do is write on the sheet, check personal information in green. I'm not gonna check it in blue because we want to go aggressive. Next thing, we're gonna go to that yellow one over here. What's that yellow one flashing? That's gonna be public records. So I'm just gonna put public records. I'm gonna check that. Then the next thing we're gonna do over here, we're gonna do bad inquiries. So I'm gonna do bad inquiries. All right. So now this is a category-based program, which means when you find one of them, if there's more of them, it doesn't matter. It's already selected. So you just move on to the next color. So all these browns, because we're going to assume that all the browns says bad inquiry, right? Because now we know it's a, yep. Perfect. We can move on. We know all the browns of that color. So now we're going to go to 45. 45 student loan derogatory late. Check that off. I'm going to go to 47. Charge off. All other collection charge off. I'm going to go from here. I'm going to go to derogatory. This one's blue. All other derogatory lates 3+. Okay. And then I'm going to go to this last one, this purple one over here, 1-2. Now, I look at my file and I can go through everything over here. I look at my file and I can go through everything. Yeah. I got this. Now I know that everything's here and I can go through and I see all my check marks. I double check all my check marks. Okay? I'm just double checking everything and making sure everything's good. Now all this is good. All this is good. Perfect. 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 So now we know everything is on this list. Now I'm going to teach you guys the sauce. I have the information I need. I go back to the work to execute box. I turn it off. I turn it on. Basically, turn the AI off and let's start from scratch. Turn it back on. Now I'm going to select Blast Furnace 1 or MPEP, and I'm going to start with my attack type. And now I can start to put the information in. Now, I'm going to ask a question here. If we're looking at Blast Furnace 1, Micah, do not answer. If we're looking at Blast Furnace 1, okay? And what's the difference between Blast Furnace 1 and Blast Furnace 6 or Blast Furnace 8 or MPEP 6, MPEP 8, 5, 4? What's the difference?
It's a different aggression, I would say.
Yeah, I
Yes.
was gonna say the same thing.
It is a different aggression. Do you know the level of the aggressiveness that happens?
Well, I would say level 1, level 2, level 3, level 6. So you cannot start with a level 6 if you never started at all. So you have to start with level 1.
Bull crap. I could start with level 6. I could start with level 6 if I want to.
Okay, all
You
right.
gotta know that you gotta know the aggression. You gotta know what makes it aggressive.
Huh.
You gotta know what makes it aggressive. That's why we do these masterminds, guys. We gotta know what makes the file aggressive. What makes it aggressive? So let's go there. Let's find out. Let's go to level 2 and then go back to 1. Okay. First off, tell me what's here. Tell me what you see here. Everybody's nobody, and I gotta tell you, it's not that nobody knows this, but nobody does know this because they don't look at it. Here's your thing. How many blues do you guys have?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
10. How many greens?
2.
Perfect. So out of 12, okay, out of 12, you got 10 blues. 10 blues, which is 2 greens, correct?
Right.
Perfect. What else do you see in this file? What does it say? Focus down here. What does it say down here?
It's that your maximum is unlimited. You have a 10 number of item attack on all 3 bureaus. And then everything else is unlimited.
Perfect. Focus on that. Ready? Let's go back. I'm going to show you your aggression, everybody. Let's go to round 2. What's changed?
The number of items attacked in the bureaus is lower. And you
There's not more. There's less.
I mean,
Less.
it's, sorry.
It went from 10 to 8.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
one is lower. And you have 3 checks in the green box now.
So Lou's smiling. I think the light bulb just hit his head. I think the light bulb just hit his head. Do you guys understand what the aggression is? Or do I have to keep going to really, really show you what the aggression is? Tell me. Give me a yes or a no. If I know Lou's smiling because I can see the camera. But if you guys don't understand, I'm gonna keep going so I have her at home because I want you guys to understand what the aggression is and why it's becoming more aggressive. Give me a yes if you want me to keep explaining it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go. Let's go to 3. Ooh. So. Wow, this is maniacal. What's happening, Ralph? Talk to me. You're yes, you're on muted. I love it. Keep going. I'm gonna keep working. Keep thinking it out in your head. What's going on here? How
So
many
we got
greens?
more green check boxes, less blues, and
Okay.
less letters in all 3 bureaus.
Not less letters. Less letters. Read that again. That's not
I
less
mean,
letters.
6 Maximum number of item attack.
Okay. So do you understand what item attack is?
I would say in the blue, like all the blues is 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So all the blues is 1 attack, and then each of the green is 1 attack. Is that what you're trying to say?
No. The item is the actual negative item. What the negative is on the account. So each round is going down in negative items. Why? Why would you think that Ralph is going down in negative? Wow, we actually got a turnout today. We actually got a turnout today. I love it.
Would you say that because those negative are not as significant as they should be, so that's why?
No, it's the opposite way around, Ralph. It's the opposite way around. They're so important that when you're shaking the tree, they want as many negative items in the letter as possible. And as it gets more aggressive, they're lowering the negative items per letter. So let's skip and go from 3 to 6. Read that off to me, Ralph. What are we looking at now?
We got hella blue checks and the green. I mean, we got more greens and only 2 blues, and then only 3 items attacking all 3 bureaus.
Okay. So let me speak to you guys. We're going to do this one more time, Ralph. Okay. I'm going to move it to the most aggressive attack that they have in the system, which is 8. Round 8. Ready? What do we have? Talk to me.
Wow. Okay. Nothing in the blue, everything in the green checked. Only 3 items attacking all 3 bureaus.
Only 3 items. So now, what are you guys seeing? What is the aggression here? What are they doing to make it more aggressive? Forget about verbiage. Don't care about verbiage. What are they doing physically that makes it more aggressive?
They are
Individual letters, right? On every item.
Attaboy, Pat. Attaboy, Pat. That was it, Ralph. That's you got a little help. Pat came in out of nowhere and knew it.
That's what I'm talking about.
That
So
was a
that's-
6-man with the winning 3.
Yep. That is exactly it. So now when we talk about aggression, that's what Lou was saying. It hit his head. Because when you know how to utilize the software, you could skip round 8 and start round 8 at round 1. And starting round 8 at round 1, you know you're going to work to there anyway. So why the hell are you waiting for it? Why are you waiting for it? We're not about shaking shit off the tree. Let's be real, guys. I don't want to shake shit off the tree. I want to get down and get as much as I can remove as quickly as possible. I was telling everybody this the other day. I went to the bank early in the morning, Wednesday morning, and I sat down with the banker and I asked the banker, I said, let me ask you a question. What's going to go on? What's the next 6 to 8 months look like? He turned around and told me, Ali, get your credit right because everything's about to open up. So are we waiting to get stuff removed off of credit? Or are we going as hard as possible from day one? Anybody that likes basketball paint, we're going hard. Likes basketball terminology, we're going hard in the paint. We're going hard in the paint. Like legitimately, we're not waiting. We're literally going for the bucket as quickly as possible. And we're going to do it properly and we're going to do it legally. Go, Lou.
Confession. Moment of confession. When I first started using the software, when they gave me the predetermined destinations, I've always skipped looking at it as, okay, well, I know that the green is going to attack this particular thing in this way. I'm not going to let you stay with the blue and then let you send me one letter that kicks everything out to the curb. I move it around. I'm guilty of that. I make notes of what I did to know what I could do the next time. It's my confession.
And how many people have that same confession? I want you to know that. How many people have that same confession? How many people have actually been taught this to do this? How many people are sitting in this ideology to say that, oh my God, I didn't realize I did not realize that by clicking X, Y, and Z button, right, I can push my client's file forward quicker. Or my own, let's be real. Now, does that mean that it's going to get removed quicker? Does that mean that we're going to get the Bureau to do stuff quicker? No, it does not mean that. First and foremost, I'm going to school everybody in the FCRA real quickly. Okay? FCRA, when you come to sell a file, you're talking to anybody about credit repair, don't ever give a time limit. Anybody that tells you they guarantee a 90-day removal, do not trust them as far as you can throw them. That's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Don't use that terminology. Don't ever speak about that terminology. Don't ever even go down that path. Your job is to tell them the truth in the right way. Hey, guys, look, according to the FCRA, and I've used this all the time, I can never tell you how quick it's going to get done or anything. This is what we got to do. We have 8 rounds. I suggest we go through the 8 rounds and visit it after the 8 rounds and visit to see where we are after 8 rounds. If we're good and we're happy where we're at, great. If we're not happy, we can move on. And we'll see what happens from there. You know what that changes? That changes the person's mentality. You're setting the expectation correctly for them. Pat, you joined up late, so I'm clicking on you right now. If I came to you and we were talking about credit repair right now, me and you were having a conversation, I'll tell you, FCRA doesn't allow me to tell you that. Let's have a conversation. Let me tell you, in 8 months of me doing my work and you paying me, and we do let's visit it in 8 months. Are you going to respect me for that, or are you going to walk away and go to somebody else that tells you can get it done in 3 months? Then steals your money and bounces.
Me, especially me, and with my knowledge, I'm gonna respect the hell out of you. Because a person, if they say I can do it in X time frame, especially that 3-month, 30-day time frame, it's like a 90% chance that they are committing fraud. Period.
Absolutely.
Point blank. They are committing fraud. And fraud and murder are about the only 2 things that there is no statute of limitation on.
Absolutely.
Do not commit fraud to fix your credit. I can't stress it enough. You don't have to lie. You don't have to commit fraud to fix your credit. It is your right given to you by Congress. The FCRA, look into it. Right? So yeah, 100%. I'm gonna respect the person that tells me that. I'm not going to somebody else to give me money.
How many people are gonna tell you that?
That was majority of my competition when I first started. I was looking, I was like, how can they do this in 30 days? How can they do this in 30 days? Blah, blah, blah. How are they doing this in 90 days? I'm looking, and I started to understand. Oh, we're going to lie. We're going to make face police reports. We're going to file face police reports. All that nonsense is garbage. You do better with consumer law or Metro 2. 100%.
Oh, fresh breath of air. A fresh breath of air. That was beautiful. Thank you, Pat. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
You guys got to understand. I don't want to hurt you. First and foremost, there's that 14-day sweep going around where they're doing the human trafficking crap. Don't do it. Don't do it. You put yourself in a negative situation where it's worse that you have committed fraud and said that you have part of human trafficking to get your negative items removed, where they turn around and the FTC does a report and finds out that you weren't a part of that. Oh, you in big doo-doo. You in big doo-doo. We don't even want to be a part of that. Follow Metro 2. Metro 2 will remove it. It's like factual disputing. Factual disputing is the other way. You're going to go through 18 rounds of factual disputing. Eventually, it's going to fall off. It's eventually going to come off because eventually somebody's going to slip up somewhere and it's going to come off. But it's proper. It's absolutely proper, and it cannot get you in trouble. Now, the other thing is, the other people don't realize is, it's crazy. You can do UCC, Metro 2, factual disputing. That's it. Those are the 3 things. Once you do those 3 things, that's it. You're done. That's it. You're done. Don't even push anywhere else. Don't do fraud. Don't do any of this stuff. Like, everybody wants me to do the FTC reports for inquiries. I'm going to do it to teach you guys because the inquiries are, not really big. But at the end of the day, because if I didn't get it, I didn't get a file. I don't need it on my account. There's no reason. Like car, guy gets me to pull a car loan out, right? That I didn't buy a car for, and now they won't remove it off my account because they say it's attached. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna get all removed. Then we're gonna do that. I'm gonna do this on the next live. Okay. But not to go too far into that. Not to go too deep into that. Let me bring it back over here and finish this. We went through all the levels. We've seen that it moves from blue to green, right, Ralph?
Yes, sir.
What's the last thing that we see? We see the items jump from 10 to 3, correct? So we know that each letter with the negative item is only going to include 3 negative items per letter. Okay? So you have a possible of 36 letters with 3 negative items and 36 letters. That's what that means. Okay? So now let's go the most aggressive possible. Let's start round 1, and let me teach you how to do round 1. So here's my first round with this. Okay? I have my check boxes. I'm going to go off my check boxes. I hit red, and now I focus on what I have. I have personal information. I have public records. I have inquiries. I have all other collection charge-off. I have all other derogatory lates. I have all other delinquency lates. And I have student loan delinquencies 3+. Okay? So now, why don't I have anything in blue? I don't need anything in blue. I don't need anything in blue. We just individually attacked everything. Now, I'm going to give you 2 crazy options right now. I'm going to get rid of personal information and inquiries. Why? I don't need them. I am not going to focus 55 points of my file when I can focus on the negative items. Why do I want to do that? Because I'm going to do something absolutely freaking crazy. I am going to do something so freaking crazy it's going to blow the mind of other people. Okay? Here we go. Public records. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is 15. Now, let's start over here with the craziness. Here's the first round of crazy. That's 3 for a negative item. Default. We're done. We're absolutely done right now. Okay? Hit next. Now what's going to happen? Let it analyze the report. We're not going to have any inquiries on the file. We're not going to have any personal information on the file. The first thing that's going to be a negative is going to be, okay? The first negative is going to be the bankruptcy, as we can see. These are all the colorfuls. We got the rainbow going over here, okay? And with the rainbow, excuse me. With the rainbow, we can focus on the negative items. Now, how many letters do you think this is going to be? Can somebody give me an idea of how many letters? I'm going to keep this up. Can somebody give me a count of how many letters they think this is going to be? Throw a number out.
25.
Isn't it
25?
gonna be 15?
15 letters. Okay. I'm writing this down. We got 25. We got 15.
I got 33.
You got 33. 20, 25, 15, 33. Anybody else want to give another guess on how many letters it's going to be? No other. Okay. Let me show you how many letters it's going to be. So first off, bankruptcy is 11 letters by itself. So whoever had 15, you're out of luck. you're out of luck right off the bat.
Dang.
So let's count these next letters. So what is this? This is student loan. 1, 2. Here's another letter. Okay. So that's, if I were to count
13.
this, hold on. 1. This is going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I think this is 8. 8 times 4 is 24 plus 11 is 35 letters. So whoever said 33, you're the closest.
That was
Thank you,
rough.
man.
That's 35.
Appreciate it.
That's 35 letters. Well, where did I get 11 letters for the bankruptcy? Well, here we go. We're going to do our data furniture. Our data furniture over here is the USBK court. So we want to make sure the court gets the letter. So we go over here, we look for USBK court, which is going to be, where are you? This one. We're going to do the Orlando because that's Experian gives the best stuff for BK court. Okay, USBK court Orlando. And then we want to start selecting our public records. This only works with public records, guys. You don't have to select this for everybody else. I know when the other classes do it, they don't say it immediately, so I'm going to say it right off the bat. You don't have to select anything in this box unless it's public record. This is the way that we do it. Innovis, LexisNexis, Lexus RDM, Factor Trucks, the PO Box, LexisNexis Privacy Manager, CoreLogic, Clarity Services, Advanced Resolution, LCI. Now, we have a list for it. If you need the list, just type it in the chat. Mr. Micah will grab it off of our Google Drive for you and send it to you if you guys need the list. Just type it in the chat for him and he'll know who to send it to. He'll get send it out for there. Micah, it's in the thing over here, checklist for clients. Right at the top. That's what that is. So now, how do I know? Here we go. 14 letters. It says it right here. 14 letters. Now, this file's ready to go. This file's done. We got everything straight color. We got everything ready to rock and roll. And we go out. 2 things that you check before you submit a file to us. Scroll down to the bottom. Scroll down to the bottom. Okay. Like if somebody typed it in the Telegram chat.
Do you want me to send the actual file or just like a copy of it?
Whatever you want. Doesn't make a difference.
Okay.
Here you go. First thing that we check over here, guys, we check this. Now, I always do this. I first name, last name, ID, first name, last name, social security, first name, last name, POA. Why? So when I'm here, I know that this is the proof of address proof, address proof. This is social security, this is social security. This is photo, this is photo. I can't mess that up. How do you mess that up when it's labeled right there? Because imagine if it's image 4742. Do you know what image is 4742? Heck no, you don't know what image 4742. Yeah, you may have uploaded it, but if you're doing this 3 months later and you didn't look at your attack profile, and you're like, what the heck is image 4742? You got to stop your thing. You got to go back, go review it, take a look at it, come back. So we know that. So now that's that. We know that this is ready to rock and roll and generate. Now we're going to go up over here. I'm going to show you guys something cool. Client information. Double check this. There's no reason anybody taking these masterminds with me should not get a file that's incorrect. General settings. Client settings. First name, last name. Address. City, state, zip code, date of birth, social security number. If you're not checking this, guys, if you're not checking this and you're in one of my masterminds and you're not checking this, we know you guys were not paying attention. You were just rushing through it. This will save you time and will save you a GA. 2 extra minutes that I just took generated a perfect letter. It just generated the perfect letter. Now, I'm going to go back and screw everybody up now. We just did that on 3. I'm going to do this on 1. I'm going to bring it so heavy to the Bureau that the Bureau is not going to know what the hell hit them.
So I have a question.
Go for it. I may have an answer.
So let's say you already did a round 1 for someone and then, you're at the 30-day mark. Can you redo the round 1 and do this?
Don't need to redo the round 1. Just start from your next day marker and go on and move to round 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's it.
But just edit it the way you're talking about right here?
Yeah, that's it. You don't need to start off round 1 like this. What I'm telling you is if you're waiting for round 6 to go aggressive, why? Start right now and go aggressive. Start right now. Because right now, if you're doing it now, the jump, what happens is if you get a stall letter in the mail, the stall letter it's coming for 1 file, not everything together. It's not coming for all the collection charge-offs. It's coming for a group of collection charge-offs. Okay? So now let's talk about this last one. This is my favorite one. This usually messes up people really, really crazy. My students are doing 3. My other students are doing 1. Why 1? Let's go over here. This is 15, 1, default. Why 1?
One increases the effectiveness, right?
It's gonna make 1 letter per round, per 1 letter per negative item. What happens? It increases your page amount a little bit, increases your letter amount. But here's what happens. Again, the stall letter. If they stole 1 file out and 30 of them got through and 31, now you're increasing your effectiveness to 31 files over it. Now, again, guys, I'm telling you this because you guys are printing with me. I don't tell you to do this if you don't want to. Do this if you want to. But here's the thing. It's going to increase it dramatically. It's going to increase it dramatically. You may want to save this for a guy that's got like 2 or 3 negatives. You don't want to do it for a guy that's got 100 negatives. When you get a bill for $400 or $500, you're going to be like, Ollie, what the hell's going on here? So at the end of the day, don't do it for a person that has too many negatives. Do it for a person that has a few negatives, like 3 to 5. Don't go too crazy with that. That's why I say I don't focus on the other information, okay, when I'm doing it like this. I only focus on the highest items. Okay, now, default, and now we'll run it like that. Okay, and boom. Here we go. Now, how many letters do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 letters times 3. Let's go at 20 to 61 letters. Right? 61 letters. That's what happens when you run it at the most effective. You guys want to see it? I show it to you. Attack item, make samples. 61 letters, to be exact. 61 letters at the most aggressive. Now, 133 is when we included the inquiries. That's crazy. That's crazy. But this is what you're looking at. Now, the other one was 37. There's a 37. That's why you're going to work up your aggressiveness as you get through to each round. So what you need to do is be prepared to go wherever you want to go. Now, somebody says, well, Ollie, I don't want to go I want to go aggressive, but I don't want to go that aggressive. Go 4 or 5. 4 or 5 is usually a cutoff line where we say the Bureau looks at your file and says, okay, this is not a credit repair organization because they got 4 or 5 negative items. That's where we want to put them at. Now, that's it. So I'm going to pause there before I go back into the attack area. I'm going to open the floor for questions. I'm going to clean off my thing over here because the next thing is we're going to go over inquiries. Where is my towel that I clean this crap off with? Questions, guys. Questions. Ladies and gentlemen, questions. I don't like when everybody's keeping up with me. I'm explaining it good.
Yeah, no, it was well detailed, man.
It's I'm trying my hardest to get everybody to get on the same level. I want everybody to understand that we want everybody on the same level. We want you to succeed in this. I want every single person to succeed in this.
And that doesn't matter which number of attack you're doing that on, right?
No, it doesn't matter which number of attack you're doing it on. Because what you're doing is you're increasing the amount of letters. The owner of the software put unlimited for a reason. Why did he put unlimited in the box if he knew that when he was going to generate the first attack that he wanted everything to be unlimited? He knew that from the beginning. I want to tell you guys that. A lot of people doesn't realize that his brain said, send as many as we possibly can so we can get them to review as many files as they possibly can. Where's my garbage can? My garbage can is right there. Perfect. Okay, so now, any more questions on that? Anybody confused by what I just did? No confusion at all?
Yeah,
This is crazy.
I have one question.
Go,
You
Jay.
said
Ask me.
one scenario. You said to be more aggressive, start off at 8, skip to all the way to 8. So if you don't get the results you want after that, do you go back to 1, or when do you start back from that at that point?
No, you don't. So 8 meaning the number of what the items do at 8, not 8 on the list. So what you do
Gotcha.
is
Okay.
8 on the list basically says you're going to pick everything in green, which you're going to do once you read the credit report, you read the AI, you're going to select everything in green, and then you're going to go to the bottom on the items list where we usually say default, default, default. You're
Yes.
going to put your own item amount. You are going to be the controller. This is your credit repair process, not anybody else's. This is your process. So when we're looking at it, we're saying if they're telling us at round 8 to do 3, why are we waiting for round 8 to do 3?
Okay.
Make sense, Jay?
Gotcha. Yeah, makes sense.
Perfect, 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 perfect. All right. So I got another one crazy for you guys now. Oof. Gotta take a deep breath for this one. This is the inquiry one. This is my favorite one because I forgot about it, and then I was looking at inquiries and it hit me. It hit me again. Inquiries. Let's go back to next samples. Let's run our Epic Pro report. Let's run Blast Furnace and let's run Blast Furnace 1. But we're only going to focus on inquiries. I don't want any other files. I just want inquiries. Okay, let's focus on inquiries. Now, I put it in blue for just representative purposes. Over here, we can put it on green, but here's all our inquiry files. Now, let's hide positive items. Now, we have all the inquiries here, plus the other data, but we have all the inquiries here that are negative, okay? So now, what we do with the inquiries is crazy. You do data furnisher letter. I don't want to know who this data furnisher is, okay? What we want to do is to individually select Innovis, LexisNexis, and StageScreen. That's it. By removing these off of the secondary bureaus that it comes with, Innovis, LexisNexis, and StageScreen, you will then give the bureau that is looking for this data no data to push itself off of. And what happens? It can't verify it. It must remove the inquiry. Questions?
So can this be, let's say you sent a first round letter as the default of the software, and then when it come back in the next 30 days, you send that inquiries and whatsoever, and the second round we just focus on just inquiries. Is that okay?
Yeah, you could do so. Okay, let me phrase this for you guys. This is your process. You could do whatever you want. Say in the first round you get everything removed but inquiries. Do you want to go in the second round and do inquiries? Yes, you could do it this way in the second round. Ralph, say you want go to round 8. Finally, you get everything removed but inquiries. And you want to start back at round 1 with inquiries. And the way I just taught you, you could start round 1 again. It's your process. Perfect. Jay, I saw you came off of mute. What did you want to ask? I like when they have questions.
Yes. So the second question, everybody has this monitoring program. So I know they have actions that you can do inside that monitoring program. How would this affect the process during those first 30 days? Go in there.
Jay, you broke up a little bit. Repeat the question for me, please.
Okay. Everyone has the monitoring program.
Okay,
So
mine frees 4 now, right?
Yes. And they're free in that program. You have action buttons. So what if a customer goes in there and use those action buttons? How would it affect the process within the 30 days? What we are doing for them?
That's a good question, Ali. You better answer that good one. That's a good one.
I hate that, and I love it all in the same thing. But here's the thing. First off, you give them no reason to use those action buttons. And why are you going to give them no reason to use those action buttons? Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. What does the last thing say at the end of your letter? Does anybody know what's in green at the end of your letters? Pat, I thought I saw your hand come up. Did you wanna answer that?
No, I was reading a message from a client.
Oh,
That
oh,
was the
okay.
hand of stress going to the head.
That oh, I know that. I have 7 unmissed messages in my Slack. I can't wait after I'm done with my mastermind.
Yeah.
So let me explain to you guys, okay? Because everybody knows, not everybody knows, but I'm going to teach you guys this. So Jay, the question that you asked, the first and foremost thing that happens with your clients is never ever dispute anything online, and make it clear day one. Why? I am going to tell the bureau I'm going to sue them. And if you go and put an action item on smart credit, because that's technically what it is on my free score now, and you go send them out a letter that says, hey, I believe this item's incorrect, and you do that, and you let me lose the ability to sue them, I can't help you. First. Secondly, if you go out and they hit the action item and you send a letter out the next day, you just created a frivolous dispute, which means the letters that you just spent money on are now null and void. And who's the first person you guys are going to yell at when you get a return letter that says this is a frivolous dispute? Right here. I'm going to get yelled at just like I did this morning. Why? Because your client's not doing what needs to be done correctly. So the first thing that you guys have to do, I don't care if it's an action item on a Credit Karma. I don't care if it's an action item in Experian. I don't care if it's an action item on the moon. Don't touch it. Your client is only as good as you are willing to explain to them what needs to be done. Jay, did that happen to you?
Yeah, I mean, I knew it would happen because you have action items on Kickoff and all those other apps, so it's possible. I mean, people will do it. So I was just trying to
Yes.
clarify. Yeah.
You have to make sure you make that line, because if you don't tell them, Jay, and this is the truth, if you don't tell them, I'm gonna show this to you guys. Let's pull up the actual letter, because it's a lot easier to see it when it's in your face and not when somebody's saying it. Let's go get these big hefty suckers. Okay, it's a big file. Okay, I'm gonna pull that file up. When you see that, and on the bottom of every letter in green, it says letter with intent to sue. How can you sue a person if you just gave your rights to sue them away online? You just handed it back to them. You said, here, take my ability to sue you and make money. Now, who's at Goat Repair? Anybody in Goat? Okay. So Schmitty sued the credit bureau, won $30,000 by suing the credit bureau for incorrect reporting. You guys are not learning from these people. I've been saying it. Get yourself an attorney ASAP. Hold on, where's this file? Close. Give me a second. Give me a second. Micah, do me a favor. They wrote something in Total Post and Print. Can you tell them I'll be with them after I'm done with this? Okay, Nick Samples, perfect. Okay. So here's the thing. I'm gonna take any collection over here. I'm gonna open it up just so you guys can see it. Look at this. Bottom part over here. Oops. Where is it? Not on this one. Okay, let's go over here. Maybe it's the top letter. Let's check one of these. Oh, maybe this is round one. That's weird. Let's check this again. supposed to be here in green. Why can't I find it now? Look, this one's doing CFPB. This one's your personal information. This one's doing CFPB. Where's the LTIO? Maybe it's not on MPEP? Wait, that's a good one. Shit. I'm gonna check a private letter, guys. Give me 1 second. I want to check a private letter I sent out for a client. Bear with me 1 second, guys. This is actually maybe it's the other round. That's what I want to know. Where is it? Ow. Didn't include it on MPEP. What the hell? Did they change the letters? Oh, here it is. Oh, I swear to God, I thought I was going crazy. I swear I thought I was going crazy. Here. It's an MPEP. It's second round info. In green. LOTIS. Letter with intent to sue. It says it right here. And this is round 2. And then it's $1,000 per violation. So, Jay, knowing what I just saw, I was like, I'm like, man, now I'm gonna look like an idiot in front of all of them if I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. But here it is. This is an actual client's file. We sent this out. This is the letter of intent to sue. So, Jay, when you're talking to your client, tell them this. Show this to them. Here, I'll do I'll do you guys one solid. I'm gonna put that in the mastermind group right now. There you go. It's in the mastermind group. Okay? I just sent you a picture in the mastermind group. So that's there. That letter with intent to sue is the reason you don't want them doing anything. But you have to explain that to them. They don't know better. I didn't know better until I learned. Until I learned, I didn't know better. So, did that answer your question properly? Lou, did you
Yes.
feel that that was a good way?
Yeah, that was a good one. I got one
Yes,
small
sir.
question.
Yes.
Go, Jay. Talk to me.
In the software, I was wondering, like, if you have like multiple customers, is there like a light indicator to show like when the 30 days is coming up or when the next round is coming, so I won't have to like, it'll be visible. You know what I'm saying?
So
Like if
what
you have
I'll
like 100, if you have like 100 people in there and they all on different months, is it some type of indicator like well, their time is almost up right now, so let's get ready to do theirs next?
not in the software. Not in the software. It's unfortunate, but I know they're adding some CRM qualities. I was having a discussion with the owner. They're going to add some CRM qualities, but when I don't know what they are. He just told me that there's big things on the lookout. They'll be here in the next couple of weeks. So hopefully by the new year, we should have some great additions to the software. Okay. I did inquiries, I did bankruptcy, I did defile, I did ultra aggressive. What other things would you guys like to learn about the software? Damn, everybody's quiet.
You have any other best user practice or tips you can give us
In what sense, Ralph?
in the sense of, let's say you are working on a client and you're in the point of the credit is getting to the point it's it's good to go. So is there any other services as with the software that you can
You really
offer them?
wanted to move. You really wanted me just to segue into the other software, didn't you?
You know, like
You were just helping
I'm
me
just
segue into the other software. All right,
I'll
let me
send you a check for my, collaboration. Don't you worry.
So what he's talking about, guys, and I'm gonna log in over here in a second and just show you guys what he's talking about. Is Jay, what you were asking for is my personal software, which is called My Ultimate Insight. So everything that you asked for, that flickering light, we don't have a flickering light. We have a calendar that shows you when you need to pull your client's information. So when it's up, when it's time, who's it's coming up to, what it needs to be done, when it needs to be done, how it needs to be done. So when you're ready, hey, I pulled it done, mark as complete. That's what I'm supposed to because it's automation that's built automatically. This is my software. Yes.
This is an addition to Metro 2, and also would it merge together, or I just it's just a few. How would you get the people into this? Also, is it
So the
manually?
manually, but I have this beautiful thing called a register onboarding link. What I would do is when you get a little more clients, you come over here and you just send it to them and say, hey, look, register for this. This is where I'm going to look at your file every single month and I'll figure out what's wrong with your file, what's good, what's bad. It's all here. They can register themselves, they can put the credit monitoring and everything, it'll be ready to rock and roll. Oh, excuse me. So that'll be the first thing. That's your onboarding link. So you can have them onboard into your software, into this version of the software where you're doing that. Now, it does not connect with Metro 2. I'm not selling this in conjunction with Metro 2. What this is doing is I'm giving a free 2 week trial away for everybody. We're going to run this free 2 week for the next 6 months. Okay. And what we want to do is we want to give everybody the ability to view the main things: a progress report, a analytical file of the client's file, and the last thing is the funding report. Now, Mr. Ralph was alluding to the funding report. So after a client's prepared, after a client does what they need to do, okay, where do you add them? Hold on, give me a second. This is not the one I want to do it on. I want to actually do it with a client, with a real client report. Let's open up this. Boom, 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 boom. Let me see. Let me log in over here. Nope, not that one. Where is it? Here we go. Jesus Christ. Give me a second.
Quick one for you. So, if a client needs to be in this software, you would give them this link first. But would they also need to send out the Metro link also, so they can be in the software too? So I got to send them 2 links now.
I would send them two links, but this link comes after 30 days. And why does it come after 30 days? Because you don't need them in this software right off the get-go unless you're pushing them down funding. And that's why I'm just trying to get logged in over here. I want to show you guys this right off the bat, because if you're pushing more funding instead of credit repair, then this link is for you for funding purposes and not the credit repair purposes. But if you're doing credit repair, this comes after the 30-day mark, and this is why I wanted to do an actual file for you guys, so you guys can see it. So now these are actual clients, okay? These are my clients.
Okay. So after
right.
30 days, so they can get a report, and they will be entered into the system where the city where they stand for funding.
Exactly. So I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna pull my actual own report, guys. I'm not gonna. And now this is the progress report. So now I can get a progress report of where I am currently in my own credit repair process. If I have inquiries, what's going on, what's been removed, what hasn't been removed, why it hasn't been removed, X, Y, and Z. So everything is here that you can see that has been or hasn't been removed and whatever's there. So now I know that. I know that I have gone up 4 points, 3 points, and 2 points. I know I went up. I know that I'm in a good position. Now, here's the next thing. I give them the analysis. Why do you want to wait to the 30-day mark, Jay? Because when you hand them the analysis, this is going to be a funding-esque analysis. It's not going to be a credit repair analysis. Okay? This is not going to be, you need credit repair. No, this is going to be like, look, this is everything that going on with your file. We're going to tell you everything. We're going to tell you about fraud. We're going to tell you about credit. We're going to tell you about all the stuff to help you out. Okay? And then we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. Let me scroll down. This is going to tell you where you were, and as you can see over here, where you're heading, what everything looks like, what your score ranges mean, what the colors are. It's vibrant. It's telling them. It's also explaining how the scores are broken down. This is when you break this down, you'll understand. So what this means: credit utilization, age, payment history, available credit balances. Now, everybody, do you understand what this picture is? Does anybody understand this picture, or do they need me to break this down? Because this is a huge part of credit repair to understand why your Vantage score is different than your FICO score. And this is the biggest piece right here to understand how you actually get scored and what you should be attacking. Yes, no, maybe so. Okay. Silent key right now. All right. This is going to break down the utilization. This is going to break down the average account age. This is going to break down the oldest account. Again, this is funding purposes. So you're looking at a funding aspect versus the thing, what their recent inquiries are, all that stuff, so they can help get them removed. Okay. What their good standing accounts are, how much they owe, what their limits are, what their current balances are, if they owe anything that needs to be paid down, what the owed amount is, what they're doing, where they need to go. This is your file. You could take this, hit save as PDF, send it to the client, and say, hey, this is your breakdown. That's it. Yep. This is your breakdown. This is what your file looks like. This is good, bad, ugly. Print, done, move on. Okay. And this is everything that's there. Okay. Now, last piece. This is what Ralph wanted to see. This is your funding file. This is how you guys can see if you're fundable. Now, I pulled my credit report yesterday. So it shows the date that's on the credit report. This is me. Okay. This is my score. Am I fundable? Well, let's take a look. I have over a 700 score on every 3 bureau. So yes. Am my business fundable? Well, I have over a 730. Why 730? Can anybody guess why I have 730?
I would say to be conservative,
It's always
honestly.
about being conservative. But why 730, not any other score? Why did I pick 700 and 730? Yes, you're absolutely right about conservative. But why those two scores?
I'm not sure.
Ralph, you want to take a smack at it?
I don't know. I'm not certain.
Okay, I'll tell you why. 6.8 is the minimum score that you need to do a credit stack. When you get your first inquiries, 5 points remove over every inquiry. That's why they do the shotgun method. The shotgun method is apply everything before the score drops. Okay? But if you have over a 700 plus score, who cares how many inquiries you run? Only the inquiry sensitive banks are the ones that you're going to have an issue with. So who cares? We don't need to worry about that. We just go with our score. 730, not 720. SBA requires a minimum of a 720 credit score. Always have 10 to 20 points above what they want. Always have 10 to 20 points above what they want, and you'll be fine. You'll never have to worry about anything. Now, credit card. Credit cards with 3-year-old credit card 3 years old with at least 5,000 that must be a primary. Yeah, I got multiple. Okay. Minimum of 2 open revolving accounts in the past year. No, I don't, because I went for funding a year and a half ago. So this is a no check mark. So this means I'm a starter file if I'm trying to go for funding right now, and I'll most likely get denied because this is a big one over here. This is a big one. Under 30% utilization. Question for everybody before I go into this. I heard a famous YouTuber. And influencer say this, and let me see if everybody understands this. I want an answer from everybody. Okay. If you have a over 30% utilization, go get a card and authorize users with 20K, and that'll clear up your utilization. Is it true? Yes or no? Ralph, I'll start with you. You're the first one on my list. Yes or no?
No, no.
Pat, yes or no?
Not really that simple. It can be, but
It is. It actually is simple. Don't make it more complicated than it is. Yes or no? I'll
I
explain
say
why.
yes, actually.
Yes, it'll help. It'll fix it. Okay, Lou, what do you say? Yes or no?
I gotta go with what Pat said. I feel like it can.
Okay, good. Jasmine, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, you feel that it will. Jay, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. The only person that's right is Ralph. It's a no, and I'll tell you why. The bank doesn't look at overall utilization, it looks at individual utilization when it's going down. That's why all your cards have to be under 30%, not your file. So if I have one file, and I want everybody to think about this, if I have a $70,000 limit, right? But I have one file that's maxed out completely, right? 99% utilization. Why is a file so good have limit utilized on one card? It throws a red flag. Your overall utilization does not matter to the bank. It's your individual utilization. Your individual utilization is the one that matters the most. That's why they tell you to keep all your cards under 30%. Go look at if you don't believe me, go look at Experian on the website. It will tell you the individual utilization amount. 5%, 10%, 20%. Why? If the overall was what mattered, right? Then it doesn't matter what the individual is, how much you're maxed out on it or not. It doesn't. But it's not about the overall. It's only about the individual account. The overall matters in effect for your personally not to max out your cards. But how do I know this? You want to know how the biggest jump happened in my credit score? I did this to test this out. I went to Amex. I got an Amex everyday card, right? And I racked it. I went right to the moon with it. I spent 80% on the card, and I didn't pay the card back. I not didn't pay it off, didn't pay the card back. I waited 1 month, made the minimum payment, waited another month, waited the minimum payment. What do you think my credit score was when I did that? I'll tell you right now, I'm at 793. Where do you think my credit score dropped? Take a guess, guys.
625.
Not as
680.
not as low. What'd you say, Lou?
680.
680? Okay. 718. 718.
What
So what is
was
that?
what was your original question when it came? Or what was the original thing you said when it came to limit? Yeah. So were
for
you
it.
saying that's a denial or?
Yes, it could get you denied. You have so what happens is what the question was, and the form of the question of what the person was asked is if a person has an overall utilization of over 30%, you could take a authorized user, put the authorized user on, and it will drop your utilization. Yes, it will drop your overall utilization, but it still won't drop your individual utilization. You feel me?
Yeah, that part I get, but are you saying that's a denial? Because I have
Yes.
plenty of case studies that's not a denial. Maybe a smaller limit,
Yes.
but not a denial. Not a
But here's
guaranteed denial though.
but here's the
And
thing.
that's why I said it's not as simple as yes or no. That's the reason why I said that. I understand the individual utilization part and the overall, like that part I get. But if the question is denial or not, that's the reason why I said yes.
But here's the thing, Pat. If you're funding, you want a $5,000 limit or you want a $20,000 limit?
No, yeah, I get that.
No, 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 no.
Man, you got some people that don't want more than like $20,000 in total.
But here's the thing. I'm not asking those people. Those people are not my clients. I don't ever deal with those people. I go to the people and I turn around and I tell them, I said, let me ask you a question. Are we going for the max here, or are we going for limit? Because if we're going for a limit, I'm going to pass you off to one of my other people. I'm not doing it. Why? Because here's the thing. There's some people, you're 100% right, that don't want to get funded like that. I have a person here yesterday. He came here sitting right here. And he turned around and told me, he goes, I have to talk to my partner. I said, if you don't pull a credit report, you got to talk to your partner. You're not a decision maker. Do me a favor. When your partner is ready to discuss odds with me, do me a favor, have him call me. Please don't come back here. And the guy just looked at me. His mouth hit the floor. Because here's the thing. It's not about arrogance. First and foremost, you're doing a job. Why would I waste my time with somebody that needs $10,000 where I could put the same effort into somebody who needs 100K? It's the same amount of work, guys. It's the same amount of work. And the person that pays that file down, has a better chance to get anything, both on the business side and on the personal side. You got to remember, when we're looking at funding, we're looking for a best case. We're not looking for worst case. We're not looking for what we consider a starter file. We don't want to be starter files. We want to be files that are set up perfectly. Now, my conservativeness over here, you were 100% right saying that it's conservative. Absolutely. Can you take if the person has a check mark and he's got a 690, can you fund him? Absolutely. As long as he's above 680, you can fund him all day long. You can fund him all day long. Do you want to fund him? Yeah. But do you risk running if you get into a situation with him where you don't get approved for a card because of an inquiry or something that you do? Yes. So we're setting up the best scenarios. That's what I'm trying to explain. I'm not saying that he's not unfundable. I'm not saying that the client is not able to get that funding, but it's the same thing as a person having a 50% utilization. You can run them through. You're going to take a shot in the wind. But let me ask you a question. Can't you just pick up the phone and ask for a limit increase on that file and get that client under 30?
Possibly, yeah.
That's it. People don't realize that. But if you start teaching them good habits from the beginning, when you're sitting down with them, especially in the credit repair thing, you start teaching them good habits in the beginning, you get them under 30, you can get them to the place where they want to be. Now here, look at my utilization. What's my utilization? Can you guys see the screen? Do you see the data, or is it hard to read?
For me personally, since I'm on a phone, it's like I can't see. And if you zoom in, like I might still not be able to see. Honestly.
I have no clue how to make it work on this browser. I've been trying this browser. So the browser is supposed to be good. Let's see. Let's ramp it up to 175.
But also, I'm on a phone. I'm usually on my laptop, but I literally had
Is
just got in. So
is that good?
What what funding company are you guys use? I keep hearing saying funding or could get funding. What is
we
there
becoming a
certain
funding company.
You become
and
a
how is
funding
that?
company.
That's what this software. That's what this
So
is about.
this is not what it. Yes, yeah, Pat. It is a little bit, but it's not. This helps you create a foundation to build off of. Funding companies are out now. I'm thinking I'm gonna release a course on it later. But it's basically getting people the credit that they need to push them to get credit cards in their personal business and their personal life and their business through utilizing good practices and understanding how the system works. So, Jay, for example, why are you fixing your credit? Let me ask you that question.
Oh, shoot, get some money.
That's it. So here's the money. There you go. That's the answer. Thank you, Jay. That was the perfect. Thank you. That just made my life so easy. That's it. So this is when Ralph was asking before, how do I know when I'm ready? This piece of software that I designed is to let you know how you're ready. And we're going to do it on a conservative platform instead of these are the perfect numbers. This is conservative to give you a little higher, so it makes sure that when you're going in, you can at least get where you want to go. That's why I asked the other question is overall utilization here. These are all the overall utilization. I'm at 1%. But this is the thing, Pat. I got a pay down right here. I got a pay down right there. I got an individual pay down of 813. Now it's not 813. What is it? What's the pay down? Oh, they took the limit off. So that's a so I have so the bank doesn't have a limit over here because the credit report but I would have an individual pay down of whatever this is to keep it under that number.
That's because you got a black card. That's why there's no limit there.
What I got a black Home Depot card?
Nah, I'm messing with you.
I wish I had a dude, I'm working towards it. I know the numbers now. I know the numbers. I know how to get it.
I'm trying to get one too.
I know how to get it. It's not as hard as people think it is. You've just got to be lights out every single month. Okay. Gem dropped. $250,000 in your business account needs to be spent in a physical year and paid back with not 1 day late. And what I mean by not 1 day late, if the amount is owed on your Amex Platinum, $200,000, you have to pay it the day that it's due or beforehand. So say I go to buy a car, right? No, fuck it, the car's dead. I go buy material for my business. I gotta buy envelopes and I gotta buy paper. I'm looking at shit. I need to buy envelopes of paper right now. So I'm looking at these things and I know I need to buy them, right? And I'm sitting down and I see it, and I know that these are things that I need. So when I go to the supplier, I buy everything. I charge the card. I pay it off the next day, or I pay it at the end of the term. I have to pay up to $250,000 in one physical business year. If I pay that, it gets me the qualification to get the Amex Centurion card. This is a private club. Anybody in business wants to be a part of this business club. It's the big boy club. It's the big boy club. Forget about, and I'm gonna straight this again. Forget about the rappers. There's two cards in this world that I want. I want the Black Centurion card because it puts you in a different ball game, and I want the JP Morgan private client card. 10 million in private assets needed to be able to get that. $10 million in private assets needed before you can even get that. Look that up. That card is absolutely crazy. Why do you need it? You don't need it. Nobody needs the credit cards. You can get a basic cashback card, but that's a status thing at that point. It's like, does anybody really need a Rolex? No, you don't need a Rolex. Any watch tells time, but it's more of a want. Go for it, Pat.
Well, also too, it's the things that's required to get there, right? So in order to get that JP Morgan Chase card, you got to do a lot of things right. In order to get the black card, you got to do a lot of things right. In the past, in order to get that Rolex, you got to do a lot of things. Like, you got to add some kind of value to a lot of people to get those things. So personally, I'm with you on that. I'm after those same cards.
I'm reason that I want to do it is my mentor. I have three different mentors. My mentor has a Rolex Presidente. He showed it to me. I fucking love it. And my other mentor has a Rolex Daytona. And the reason he bought his Rolex Daytona when he retired his job. He turned around and told me, I retired one place and I went to another to get my status up. But when I walked into the place, he goes, I knew I was out qualified. I said, what do you mean? He goes, there was guys walking around with Gucci suits, all these different things, and I'm just a what is this, polo and jeans type of guy. You got to start putting yourself in a different situation. The polo and jean guy, Steve Jobs, walking around with a $150,000 watch changes the way that everybody thinks. Because here's the thing: you can have the $150,000 watch and be the polo and jeans guy, and everybody looks at you, yo, he's not dressed in a suit. What the hell is he doing different than me? Why is he doing? What is it? And then everybody starts flowing talking to you. Then you start to get the view of everybody else. This is coming from my mentors. And my mentors are teaching me putting up like this. This is the biggest thing. My wife made me my wife made this. This is my reminder every day of what I have to do. Every single day I have to do this. Because if I start doing this, I'll start equal. If I see it, it's going to become reality. And every day that we push to that reality, it gets closer. So we need to push there as quick as possible. So that's how we go from there. Okay, that's how we do that. But yes, we want these cards. We want this ability to succeed. We want this ability to do funding for people. We want this ability to go to such a level where you look at yourself. And I had a conversation with a kid today. And I turned around and said, you need to have these things to step up. You're going to start stepping up. You're going to start stepping into game where people are looking at you different. You know, I never thought $1,000 a day was possible until I started hanging out with people that started doing $1,000 a day. Now it's 20. Then 20 is going to be goes to $20,000 a day to $20,000 an hour, and then to 20,000 a minute. Then you start stepping up your game because you're going to you're going to start changing the people that you hang out with, and that's going to grow everything that you're doing and everybody that you're being with. That's it. It is the God's honest truth with everything that we do. I promise you this. And I know we went off on a little bit of a tangent, wasn't credit, but this is like the mastermind. It's like teach everybody a little bit of everything. That is what we're trying to do. We want you guys to succeed. I'll be honest with you. I want every single one of you guys to succeed. I do. I want to see everybody come to me and tell me, oh, look, I just bought a Rolex. Like, I would be happier than a pig and poop if everybody in here bought a Rolex. I would. The only thing that we're missing as a group, legitimately, the only thing we're missing as a group, and I'm trying to find them, is a marketing team. Is people to teach marketing and get marketing involved. Once you have that and you have a product, that's the game. That's the game. Imagine being able to get 10,000 clients into software and passing them off from person to person to person to person. Hey, Pat, how many people you need this month? Oh, bro, I'm full this month. I can't handle any more clients. Go to Ralph. Ralph needs clients. Ralph, no. Send them to Luis. No. Send them to Jasmine. Send them to Jay. Because you're just full. Because you have them coming in and you're working them and you know what to do and you know what to do right. But we need to get to that point. We need to get to that point. There's other things that are coming. And everybody that's in these groups and coming in, they're seeing the things that I'm working on, like this software. These are things that I'm working on that are going to help you guys step to that next level. When you're able to underwrite a file in 20 seconds, you're able to tell what's wrong with the file, what's been deleted, what's been talked about, what's been done with all the files. You step your game up versus the person that doesn't have that. So for every person that's not in this mastermind group and the person, well, what have you done with my file? And they're like, well, I don't know. Versus Jay, you come into this, you have this, you'd be like, hold on, give me a second, let me pull your report. Should take me about 30 seconds to tell me what's wrong with your file, what we've done. Let's pull that new report, go to the progress report and have everything in front of you. This is all green. And now, guys, this is the mastermind group. I'm going to show you in the mastermind group. This is what happened today. This is a picture from today's mastermind. This is a picture from today. That's what happened with somebody's file. They just plugged it in. And all these screens are all removals. They've all been removed. So now if you have the ability to do that in 20 seconds, do you look better than the next credit repair company? Do you look better than the next company that you're trying to do funding with? Absolutely. Absolutely. You look better than all these people that you're trying to work against. Because don't forget, these guys are your competitors. You can't be fly by night. You have to be the best. I taught you options today on how to be the best. Ain't nobody going to teach you how to be the best because they're going to, here's enough, here, go. I want to get you into my next course. I don't want anybody's course. I don't have a course. I didn't build out a course. I mean, I'm working on it, but I don't have it. I want you guys to succeed. I want you guys to keep printing with me so I can make my money there. If you guys are not succeeding and you're not getting results, what happens? You guys are going to leave the software. You're not going to print money. That's the truth. So if I got to take 5 minutes today and teach 5 people today, come on. This is the difference in the game. Luis, how many months you been with me?
6.
6.
Which
Luis has been with me for 6 months. Pat, how long you been with me?
About the same time since May.
May, April, right? April, May?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Ralph, I think you're new, right? Ralph. I don't think Ralph can hear me.
Yeah, what's up?
I think you're new, right? You're new to the game with me?
Correct.
Jasmine, I know you're new. Jay, I know you're new. You guys, these are guys that I helped from the beginning. When I say what I say, it's the truth. These guys are joining up on my stuff because they know I'm here to help. I want to help every single one of you. And I'm going to get you guys to the promised land, every single one of you. You just got to be along for the ride. And I got some great stuff coming. And it's not charged. I'm not charging you guys for it. It's just going to be added value. So when you guys go out and go sell your product, you guys are going to have something that nobody else can do because you're working with me. Something that nobody else can do. And I mark my words on that. Ain't nobody else going to be able to do it. I'm just waiting. I have a meeting with them next Monday as well, or next Tuesday, something like that. So before I close this mastermind out, this was a quick one, guys. All great questions, all great things. I appreciate the back and forth from Ralph, Luis, Patrick, Jay, Jasmine, everybody. Thank you for being active. It makes this go a lot faster, and it actually makes it fun. It makes this a lot of fun. I thought it was going to be a boring one, but it's not. Anybody have any questions before we close out for tonight and close out for this long, nice Veterans Weekend? My 3 days off.
Oh, there's a holiday this weekend?
Post office is
Yeah.
closed. So remember, I go by post office days. If the post office is closed, we're closed. I can't. I don't work when the post office don't work because
Gotcha.
if they're not here, there's no sense of me being here.
True.
So it's also a security standpoint, guys. Also, if we print something out and we leave it in the store, it's a security risk. God forbid somebody breaks in. They have the ability to get somebody's social security number and everything. So we don't print unless we pick up. And whatever we print out tonight, we'll be done in 12 minutes. Whatever we print out tonight, I bring out and drop off at the post office tomorrow, and that's it. It's all clean and clear. So it's yours. Jasmine,
Hey,
you've been awfully quiet. What did you get out of today? Are you good? Do you have any questions?
yes, no questions. I'm just absorbing everything, trying to see how I can apply it, personally to my file.
Okay.
But
You
I
need
have a
help?
new attack coming up, so I'll be reaching out.
That's what I was gonna say. Do you need help running your attack?
Yes, I would need a walkthrough for sure.
Okay, we'll do a walkthrough. We'll do a one-on-one walkthrough. We get you all squared away and get you everything nice while we do that, and get you out as quickly as possible. Now, Pat, I know you've been with me. Pat, you did you and your wife, right? Or baby mama?
No, I don't have a baby mama. I don't have kids yet. No, it was. I had clients at the time. It was more than me or anyone I was with. It was a few of us.
Okay.
I mean,
How
I
many
still have
people?
clients, but yeah.
You got to get more clients. Stop playing games. Let's go get some more clients. Tell me what you need. Let me help you.
Well, I'm thinking about coming. I'm thinking about going to M2 Forge or back to M2 Phenom because consumer law it is expensive. I'm just weighing my options right now. I'm weighing my options. Um,
You should be doing both.
that's what I'm trying to figure out how to merge both of them. I'm gonna have to take a look at the letters and kind of see.
Don't merge both of them. Do both. Start your rounds off. Remember, I said this about an attorney. Okay.
Mhm.
Start your rounds off and see where you're getting at. Okay. Consumer law is expensive because you're going to have to pay for an attorney. You have to pay for the ideologies. You have to pay for letters. You have to pay for all this stuff where a lot of this is not paid for in M2. You're just paying to print letters. Yes. Can your letters be extravagant? Yes, your letters can be extravagant. But in the long run, can it do the same thing as consumer law? Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. So at the end of the day, when you do that, make sure you're doing it the right way. And doing your first 6 rounds at least. Get yourself an attorney. I'm working, guys. I swear to God, I'm working on it. We called the guy yesterday. We're waiting for him to get back in touch with us. I might have a lights out attorney that's been in the business for a while to be able to come in. It's only going to be available to my mastermind people, nobody else. Okay? That you will be able to sue the bureau with the attorney. You just submit in the file and say, hey, look, can I sue anybody with this? Can I do anything? He'll be able to tell you, run another round, do consumer law, do this, do that, and then you'll be able to push it and go do what your next thing is. Once you do that, game over.
Yeah, I've worked with a few attorneys, man. They just pick and choose which ones, like what they're willing to sue for. And the hiccup or the problem that I ran into because I was misled, you can't when you sue pro se, you can only sue pro se for yourself, right? So I can go and represent myself in court, but I can't turn around and represent you. That's against the law, right?
I know.
And it's a federal question, right? So it has to go to federal court on top of that, right? So that's the problem with consumer law. You can only teach your client and educate them and motivate them to go into federal court, right? And that's its own challenge in and of its own. Most people don't want to do that. Most people are like, hey, my credit's messed up. Can you fix it? And I don't really want nothing to do with it.
I
So
agree. But that's why we stick with Metro 2 and then we sue the bureau based on the intent to sue against the FCRA because the FCRA is different. And they have to provide the proof. Like, where's the contract that allows you to report that? Don't have it? Get rid of it and give me $1,000. Thank you. Write me a check. Have a nice fucking day. Goodbye. That's what it is. So, if you're looking to come to M2 FICO Forge, let me know. I'll make sure that Micah and Ray and all the guys get you set up and get you in the system. We're always here. We're always going to help. Okay?
okay.
Especially if you're making a comeback.
Well, I can say that I am one too. I think maybe we take some time and look at the letters because, like, for myself, I wouldn't hire an attorney. I would represent myself, right? But for clients, then obviously an attorney would be fine. But if I haven't been through that fire, then I'm not gonna send them through it, right? So that's kind of where I'm at on it.
Give me a call. Give me a call. You have my number. Give me a call. Let's talk.
All right.
Lou, you're my next one. You've been
Talk to me.
my guy. Any questions? Anything that you need?
No, I'm solid. I mean, at this point right now, I'm actually just in the phase of just getting more clientele, and kind of getting it up and running on a real serious level. I've been definitely taking it slow, playing it easy, but again, I definitely can add my sentiments to what you've done for me in the last 6 months. You pick up the phone, you make things happen. If I got a question, you make sure you make that time out. So I appreciate it. What I've learned from you though, I'm gonna be real with you. What I learned from you is crazy. I'm just going to say that, and I say that to say it's not what you know, it's who you know. And I believe I share. I'm in the same academy with Ralph and something else different that we're doing, and just the knowledge is kind of being dropped on me. It's like, damn, okay. Like if you don't blow up, you did it to yourself. So I just appreciate it. I'm definitely going to be transitioning over to you. I'm in the process right now of getting some more folks on board so I can use my GAs and then smoothly figure that part out. I just actually did the affiliation with MES. So I found the affiliation portion of it just to kind of better handle that. Outside of that, like I said, I ain't gonna say too much. You're there, so I'm cool. I'm cool. You definitely use some more folks, and we could definitely talk about that offline. We can have some time to kind of chat, chop it up, and you let me know, some direction on that. We can go from there.
The guy, my other counterpart over here, he handles my head of marketing.
Say that. Okay.
That's my head of marketing right there. Just literally go over there. And I gotta tell you guys something. I have no fucking clue how to market. I'll be honest with you. I know. I said this. I was talking to a friend of mine today. I said, I swear to God, with all the products and everything that I had, I should have been a multimillionaire 20 years ago. Okay. And at the end of the day, I don't know what I missed until I realized what I missed. I missed marketing. So knowing that you need to bring somebody on for marketing and help you with marketing because you don't know what you don't know is the key. So guys, take the steps. Don't be afraid of what you don't know. Just get somebody who understands it. I got him. I have another person coming in to help with marketing as well, in the sense of like he just graduated school. He wants to help out. So at the end of the day, we want to get people on. We want to help because my goal is I really wanted to create a funnel. This is my goal was create a funnel, and anybody who was in the forge just start smacking leads to. Go get them. Go get them. Go have some fun. But at the end of the day, I got to get to that level. I'm not at that level yet, but once I get to that level, it's going to be crazy. So just going to start feeding people leads at the end of the day and let them go and go close them because that's the key. Ralph, you're my last one on this line, and I'm going to move to Jasmine and Jerry, and then I'm finished for the night.
What was the question? Sorry.
Just, any questions? Anything you want to go over? Anything that you have? Any questions or concerns that you want me to address before we get off?
No, you mentioned the marketing. We can talk about that another time for sure.
Awesome. You know what I'll do is I'll run a lunch and learn next week, and you guys can and I'll make Micah host it, not me, and it'll be his lunch and learn where you guys can ask him all marketing questions, and I'll sit on the background and learn, and I'll take notes. So I'll be you guys. All right. Jasmine, I think I answered you. I asked you, but I'm going to come back to you again one more time, and then I'll go to Jay, and then we'll close it out.
Yes, we went over. Thank you. I'm good.
Beautiful. Oh, yes, we're going to do a one-on-one, you and I?
Yes,
Perfect.
yes.
Yeah, yep, I just remembered. Sorry. And Jay, last but not least.
Okay, yeah, quick question. I guess we all using the software. We're using MyFree as an affiliate. So are we using these same tools and then building a separate website to get customers in? How you funneling it in using it as a business? As far as like, because we're using two different things. Is it one place we need to send customers to or build something like that? Or do you have something like that already in place?
In what sense? For what for are you talking for the credit repair company? Are you talking
Yes.
for Okay, so for the credit repair company, my free score now is used to get your credit report. So what you're doing is you're talking to your client. So your funnel that you have to create, your first funnel, is going to be to get the client there. Your second thing that is going to be telling them what the process is. The process is going to be you got to pull your credit report first that pulls into our software. What's the number one thing that they're going to tell you? And guys, my screen froze, so I can't see anybody or hear anybody, so I apologize. Give me a second. You know what? I'm gonna do this like this. I'm gonna put this on my phone real quick, so in case we don't get kicked out. I know Mike is here, but at the end of the day, I want to put this on my phone so I don't get kicked out. Do 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 do. Where is it? Boom. My bad, Jay.
At the end of the day. Okay. So at the end of the day, when we look at it like this, I see you guys and I talk to you guys like this. It is honestly, you got to create your funnel first. You got to drive the people to understand what they're buying. If they're buying credit repair, if they're buying funding, whatever they're buying, your thing is, okay, now I want credit repair. Now how do I get them to get there? I get that my free score. Now I pull my credit report. I take my credit report. I put it into the software. I find out what's wrong. I create the TAC letter. I send it out. That's the key. Once you have that key set up, that's your client. What the hell is it? That's your client, like their sales process. Do I have that created? No. Can we help you create it? Yeah. Micah, that's something Micah can do. That's something Micah that he knows how to do. But at the end of the day, you need to focus on when you talk to your client, get them that my free score now. Say, hey, this is what I need you to get. Put them into the software and then go from there. And then start to push them with what you need them to do. I know that may have been a little weird, but did I answer your question enough to fulfill, or do I got to go a little deeper?
Yep, sounds good.
And if you look, there's more things we can touch base on eventually in the future. There's a lot more things that we can touch base on. But when you're ready, let me know. We'll get in. And then I told you guys, next week I'm going to do a lunch and learn. And I'm going to have Micah control the lunch and learn, and we'll go from there.
on having all those questions and things that need to be answered on that lunch and learn. Cool?
Like a plan to me, Stan. Appreciate you.
No problem, guys.
Yeah,
No
sounds
problem.
good.
I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for coming in today. This was awesome. Micah, do me a favor. I know this is going to take a while, but you know what? Get this up on the tube and get this in the mastermind. Let's get these to all the people that weren't able to be here today. I appreciate everybody showing up. Like, honestly, they're growing. I remember when I had one person, now I got 5. I can't wait to have more. And also, guys, this is a free mastermind. Invite as many people as you want. I'm going to help. Get them in. Let's rock it. Get them in all day long. Send them in. Let anybody that's doing credit, anybody's using credit, anybody that you need anything to handle, let's get them in here. Let's get it rocking and rolling. All right?
All right.
Let's
All
get
right.
it.
I appreciate
you.
everybody. Have a great night. Have a great holiday weekend. Enjoy your 3 days off. Whoever's got 3 days off, and I'll see you all on Tuesday.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
I'll message everybody this weekend, but still, enjoy it, guys.
Appreciate it. Have a good one, Micah.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right,
Yeah.
bye, guys.
Hey,
All right.
What happened, Mike? Where you going?
no, I was gonna say if you guys have any questions or like you guys want to ask the questions beforehand, so I could like write them down or explain it a little better, put them in the group, and then that'd be nice.
Mike is like, yeah, I need to make sure I'm ready.
I don't
Yeah.
blame Micah because you just threw him to the wolves. You like, listen, Micah's going to host it. Micah's like, oh,
Yeah,
I'm going to host
woo.
it.
Here we go.
But but that's how we do it. That's how
No, I
you
love
grow.
it.
You
I love it.
gotta get thrown to the wolves to learn. But you want to know this guy's an undercover assassin. He acts like he's innocent over there. You see him